Hello and welcome to Manaburn Media. Today I have a fun deck tech for you, posing a few weird questions about Magic. This deck is built around Sakashima and Val Smasher. This is my first ever partner commander deck that I built, and I'm really excited to share what I've been brewing up. So with this one, I've been asking the age-old question of why are Planeswalkers called Planeswalkers? Why is that Teferi actually called Planeswalker? Well, if you look at the lore of Magic the Gathering, Planeswalkers are very powerful creatures and entities who are able to walk between worlds, which is why they are called Planeswalkers. But when you look at the game, they really don't do much of any walking, which is confusing to me. Well, there is some exceptions. Shout out to my boy Gideon here. But honestly, creatures do all the work. They're the ones like walking, getting off their ass, and smacking the opponent in the face. So do Planeswalkers actually have the justification to be called walkers? This deck is kind of built around making Planeswalkers into actual Planeswalkers, maybe even Planesrunners. Maybe they're gonna run a marathon, I don't know. Well, we're gonna figure it out. So how do we achieve our goal? How do we make them walk? The first card I thought of was Luxio, Gyada's Gift. It's an equipment, and it can be attached to a Planeswalker for 1 mana, turning that Planeswalker into a creature in addition to its other types. And it's not a Planeswalker anymore. So there's a main problem here. Well, we have a creature now, but it's not a Planeswalker anymore. It has loyalty abilities, can use it, but it's not a Planeswalker technically. So, we run the card, it's good, but still, it's not quite what we want to do. There's temporary options like Sarkhan the Masterless, who can +1 to turn each Planeswalker you control into a 4/4 dragon until end of turn. And then there's Sparkshaper Visionary, which pretty much does the same, turning them into 3/3 birds with flying and hexproof until end of turn. They're nice, they're neat, they're temporary. Still not really the motivation we're looking for in Planeswalkers. There is 2 cards that I found which kind of bridge this gap that we have here. And they are Astral Dragon, which is a 4/4 for 8 mana, which puts 2 3/3 dragon creature tokens onto the battlefield, which are copies of a non-creature permanent. So we're gonna target our Planeswalkers. There are 3/3 dragons now. Now we have 2 3/3 dragons, and they also have flying. And then there's the new card, Will of the Teamer, who has a mode who can put a copy of target permanent onto the battlefield, except it's a 4/4 dragon in addition to its other types. Same thing here. Nice deal. So here's the justification now to run Sakashima as our commander, and we also run Mirror Box. Both of those cards can dodge the legend rule for us, which is essential if we want to have a huge army of copied Planeswalker creatures. Don't ever ask me how the rules actually work on this. I'm pretty sure how they work, but I'm not 100% sure. Honestly, if somebody attacks my Planeswalker creature 3/3 dragon with flying, I'm gonna block with it for its own? I guess? I don't know. That's a strange thing to do, but I can do it. I'm allowed to. The rules don't say I can't. Now we're really rolling, and we're in the business of building up an army. So if we are already there, we need to pump out Planeswalker creatures as much as we can, as fast as we can. What can we do for that? Well, we can use cards like Helm of the Host, which can be equipped to a Planeswalker creature token and puts another token copy of that creature token copy Planeswalker into play for us each combat. And then we can also run other cards like Extravagant Replication or Replication Technique, which can copy our Planeswalkers outright if we're not quite there with the setup to have actual Planeswalker creatures. So, what Planeswalkers do we run? Well, there are some super walkers which are really putting in the work in a Planeswalker strategy. These are nothing new. Everybody should know these. There is Chandra, which deals massive amounts of damage in our end step equal to the amount of Planeswalkers we have to our opponents. There is Bronos, who can phase out and protect our Planeswalkers. And then there is Vraska Betrayal Sting, who can proliferate, who is also an excellent Planeswalker just all around. It's just a very fun card. And then, well, for these color combinations, there is a reason why we run Val Smasher, for sure. I haven't talked about him at all, but he's actually pretty good in the deck. But the main reason he is here is for my boy Nicol Bolas Dragon God. Well, That boy has all loyalty abilities of all other Planeswalkers on the battlefield, and if you are a real deranged person, you're gonna pair that up with the Chain Veil and a Jace Cunning Castaway, which, if you don't know the combo, well, the Chain Veil allows us to activate each Planeswalker's abilities twice this turn. If Nicol Bolas, Dragon God, is already at 5 loyalty, and we +1 him once, and then -5 him, well, then we have 2 token copies of Nicol Bolas, Dragon God, which aren't legendary, and then we can rinse and repeat, plussing those tokens, then killing them with a -5 to create 2 more. So we're gonna grow exponentially, and then we're gonna have an army of unstoppable Nicol Bolas' Dragon Gods, non-legendary, which can just dome our opponents and destroy the entire board. You're welcome. What support are we running? Honestly, Super Friends is kind of slow most of the time, so support cards are there to either protect us or really step up the game. So the first card is an excellent piece in the strategy. It's Deep Glow Skate. It doubles the number of each kind of counters on any number of permanents as it enters. Spark Double is a clone that can copy a Planeswalker and becomes a non-legendary copy of that Planeswalker, which is always nice to get some extra value in the early game. Planebound Accomplice is pretty nice, allowing us to put a Planeswalker into play for 1 red and sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. But still, I mean, if we really need it, it's really good to have. Jaya's Phoenix is a blocker that comes again, and it can double one of our loyalty abilities when it connects to a player. Oath of Jace draws us some cards as it enters, and then each of our upkeeps we can scry X, with X is the number of Planeswalkers we control. The Elder Spell, kind of like Deep Glow Skate, if you're willing to sacrifice your Planeswalkers to really get one up there and ult him immediately, can be very, very deadly. Crawl Space is there to deny attacks of our opponents. And then there is Fate Spinner, one of my actual favorite cards in Magic. It says, at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player chooses draw step, main phase, or combat phase. The player skips each instance of the chosen step or phase this turn. Everybody's gonna choose combat in the beginning, so from like turn 1 to 5, you're probably good to go and just deploy Planeswalkers and nobody's ever gonna attack you. This card is ridiculous, honestly. So what do we do when our Planeswalkers actually get attacked and die? There is a select few of recursion spells for Planeswalkers, one of which is Command the Dreadhorde. If we're willing to sacrifice our own life, we can get back multiple Planeswalkers from our own grave or creature cards from graveyards to just get blockers out. This card is overperforming in this deck, and you could also consider running cards like Soul Transfer, which can return a Planeswalker from our graveyard to our hand or exile a creature or Planeswalker, so doubling down as a removal and a recursion spell. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. I'm gonna go to sleep pretty soon. I'm tired. But honestly, if you want to check out the full deck list that I built and not just the key pieces that I presented here, look into the descriptions to see where to go. If you like the video, leave a like, share this with your friends, stomp them with this deck, and now put away your phone and go purchase some cards. I don't know. You're an adult. You're surely as responsible as I am with my money and Magic cards. So go have some fun. Bye.